Thanks for staying tuned. It is the Thursday edition of the show, and let's tell you that following the arrival of forward Sadiq Umar to the camp of the Super Eagles in Abidjan on Wednesday morning, the team intensified their preparations for the Crunch 2025 AFCON qualifier against Benin Republic on Thursday. The team trained under the watchful eyes of interim manager Austin Iguavon and his assistants. Now they are eager to seal their spot at next year's Continental Showplace taking place in Morocco.
We've worked with General for so many years. He was our head coach, very good coach, no doubt. He knows us in and out. He's part of us. And we know him also inside out. We know what he's capable of. But, you know, Nigeria is a country you don't toy with. We respect, we play. With the mindset we come into games is to win, but easier said than done. We fight for every goal, we fight for every point, and that's what we want to do tomorrow. In respect to that, Benin is not a pushover, but we will work hard to make sure we achieve our objective.
Well, there you have it. Coach Cerezo, if you want to call him that, going by his nickname, or you call him Austin Iguavon, rather telling us that the team is ready. They know quite well what General can do, and I'm sure the team will be eager to make it a double over Benin Republic. Remember, they won the reverse fixture by 3-0, and that was after Benin Republic shocked Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers by 2-1 in the same venue. Joining me right now is the managing editor of Pulse Sports Nigeria, Joba Ogunwale, is here in studio with me. Joba, good evening. It's good to have you in studio.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Samson.
I can see you're repping. You're patriotic. Okay, let's get into it. The team under Iguavon has been a different team from what we saw during the World Cup qualifiers. This is a team that has gone back to status quo, if you want to say it, in terms of playing style and personnel especially. And the job has been done, so to speak. Especially when you consider not just the results, but the performances as well. Against Benin Republic, what are you expecting?
To be honest, I mean, I would like to give Iguavon some criticism because I was against his appointment. But, I mean, you can only beat what's in front of you. And so far, he has done great in the job, in that interim role. So my expectation against Benin Republic today is go there, out there. I mean, they're familiar with the stadium. It was also the same stadium that we beat Angola at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, which took place earlier this year. So I expect them to just go there and get the job done, pick the 3 points, even though we need the points just to seal qualification for next year's tournament. But I expect them to go there and get the job done, pick up the 3 points. And I know they are playing against a familiar foe in General, you understand. But I think on paper, the Super Eagles have quality, more quality. We have the likes of Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, Alex Iwobi, who have been great for their clubs this season. So anything short other than a win will be a disappointment for me. Okay.
Let's talk about the players. You've mentioned certain key players to look out for in the Nigerian side. We've seen the team walk around the stadium, have a full good of what the atmosphere looks like. They look relaxed. They're not under pressure, especially following the walkover after the ugly incident from Libya. Now it's Benin Republic. Yes, this is a team we know inside out. How do you think the Eagles will square up against the team itself?
So here's the thing. Their captain has been bullish going in. I mean, he plays for Stadbray. Said anything is possible. He said he even told his teammates at his club, Stadbray, that when they go out against the likes of Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco, yeah, I mean, he said he likes to tell them that anything is possible, and he told his Benin teammates. So I know Benin will be fired up because obviously Benin needs this game more than Nigeria because they're just 1 point ahead of Rwanda, who play Libya also today. And if Benin lose today, it means they have to go all out and get the win against Libya, and they're playing away from home against Libya on the final day of the group. So I'm pretty much sure they will be fired up. And don't forget, they've already beaten us. We have an upper hand in this particular fixtures. We've met 18 times, won 14 times, lost 2 times, and drew 2 times. But the last meeting, Benin Republic, the last meeting before we defeated them 3-0, I think last month or 2 months ago, Benin Republic, we lost 2-1 to Benin Republic, and that was a major blow to our World Cup qualification hope. So I'm pretty much sure the players know what to expect, and I'm pretty much sure the general will be eager to prove again to show that, okay, the win last year wasn't a fluke. So all to play for Benin, and they know that a win will also seal qualification for will also boost their hopes of sealing qualification ahead of the final game against Libya. So they have everything to play for.
Okay, let's talk about Austin Eguavoen now. The debates will still be there in the air. The speculations about the possibility of getting the job on a full-time basis. We know quite well that the body language of the NFF is looking towards a foreign coach, but if he gets the job done tonight in terms of sealing qualification for the African Cup of Nations, or more importantly, wins the game with an impressive display, there will be calls from Nigerian football fans that the man should be given the job on a full-time basis. The question is, do you lend credence to such calls?
Nah, because here's the thing. I mean, Austin Eguavoen has had enough opportunities to show that, oh, yeah, he deserves. I mean, he has had numerous opportunities. I think this is the fifth stint as Super Eagles manager. Don't forget, he was in charge for the 2021 Africa
AFCON.
Cup of Nations. He was also in charge of the ill-fated World Cup playoff against Ghana, which saw us fail to qualify for Qatar 2022 World Cup. So even then, even after we lost to Ghana on away goals, I actually do not see the reason why the NFF still went ahead to keep him in his job as the NFF technical advisor. When Peseiro came in, you could still see his hand on the teams that Peseiro selects, you understand. I mean, given that he has had enough chances and all that, and let's be honest here, let's be real here. I mean, yes, he has done quite well, but I mean, if you look at the caliber of teams that we've played, these are teams that we were expected to beat. I think my problem with Eguavoen has always been in-game management. I think when if Nigeria is like a favorite to beat a particular team and we start to and all that, I don't think Eguavoen has a problem. But what I have an issue is that when we go up against a team where maybe the team the level is quite balanced and all that, it tends to struggle tactically, and I don't think that's good enough if we are to move on to the next level, especially with this current batch of players, where I believe that this is the most talented crop, in my opinion, most talented crop that we've had since the USA 94 squad.
Okay, let me put you on the spot. You are now an octopus Joba. What will be the scoreline today? What will be the result?
I mean, you know, the funny thing is that I've heard in some courses that someone is saying maybe we should let Benin win so they can do us a favor next year, because we still play them in the return leg of the World Cup qualifiers, and we already know where we are right now. Understanding in the World Cup group. But I still think the boys will want to get the job done today. So I'm going for a 2-0 victory for Nigeria. 2-0
victory. Octopus Joba has just given you the prediction. If it's not, if it doesn't come true, you know who told. When it comes to predictions, as it were. Well, let's wish the boys the very best. Talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Remember, a point will be enough, but I'm sure the boys will be going out for all 3 points against Benin Republic, so that they can win convincingly and qualify as well for the African Cup of Nations. Last time out, they said they wanted to do it again. They got so close, yet so far losing in the final to the host nation, Cote d'Ivoire, by 2-1. Let's see if they can move a step further. And the first step to that will be to qualify for the tournament, and they are this close to qualifying at this point in time. Let's talk about other qualifiers that took place yesterday across Africa, and that's about the African Cup of Nations qualifier. We know Liberia defeated Togo by lone goal. You had Chad against Sierra Leone. That ended 1-1, and Cameroon also played out a goalless stalemate against Namibia. I'm talking about results from yesterday's matches, and let's talk about the teams now that have qualified as a result of yesterday's matches. You had few teams that have qualified before, but likes of African champions Ivory Coast as well as Equatorial Guinea also made it through. And there it is, a confirmation on your screen of teams that have qualified for the African Cup of Nations 2025. That will be taking place in Morocco. The host nation definitely have qualified. Ivory Coast, the African champions, yes, as a result of Chad and Sierra Leone playing out a 1-1 stalemate yesterday. The Ivory Coast, that's the African champions, are through. Senegal, the 2021 African champions. Cameroon, 5-time winners of the African Cup of Nations, are through. Record 7-time champions, Egypt, have also booked a spot at next year's Continental Showcase. Algeria, the 2019 champions, Angola, Burkina Faso, DR Congo, as well as Equatorial Guinea, have all sealed their spots. Joba, the competition is gradually shaping up. I'm sure we would have more teams qualify, and we also hope that Super Eagles will be among the teams that have qualified at the end of today. What do you make of the teams that have qualified so far, from what we've seen?
I mean, it shows that, I mean, you look at the quality of teams there, the likes of Egypt, Algeria, DR Congo, Cameroon, Senegal, Ivory Coast. I mean, these are African powerhouses, in addition to the hosts, Morocco. So it shows that even if the Super Eagles qualify tonight, they have like a serious work ahead if they are to win their 4th continental title in Morocco next year, because the quality of the AFCON is like keeps gradually increasing every year on a yearly basis.
Okay, we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope that the Nigerian team is able to get the job done, not just